Actually, he's in Brighton for us. I was going to say on the beach, but he's on the pier and can tell us more. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we're on the world-famous Brighton Palace Pier. It has been here for more than 100 years, and the city is such a well-established tourist destination. But like so many places that rely on tourism, it's had a really tough couple of years. So the Easter break was so important. The good news is, let's run through the numbers. The good news is that coastal resorts like this, as well as historic centres, saw visitor numbers up over the bank holiday weekend. Also in visitor attractions like safari parks and zoos, stately homes and gardens, their numbers of visitors were up thanks to the warm weather. The hotels saw an increase in bookings, as did holiday cottage rentals and campsites. So all of it is starting to go in the right direction. The Easter break is really the beginning of the recovery, but the summer is even more crucial. And a lot of that will depend on good weather. It was great over the weekend, wasn't it? We've taken a look at how some people spent those sunny days. From the promenade in Penarth to the pleasure beach in Great Yarmouth. Coast to coast, holidaymakers were out in force for the first Easter bank holiday weekend without restrictions since 2019.
Nice to see the people around again after 3 years lockdown. Yeah, it's lovely, nice weather. What else could you ask for?
Any excuse now to get out and see people and yeah, just have that human interaction again, isn't it, rather than being locked inside and not being able to do everything you want to do.
It's nice to be able to walk around with no masks on.
Because you see people smiling, and rather before your face was covered up, so it's just happy.
Seaside resorts did best, but attractions like these boat trips and train rides in Devon also had a welcome boost from domestic tourists. In Brighton, it wasn't just UK holidaymakers soaking up the sun.
It's nice to see all people walking around. All people seem to be happy to be out on the streets again.
The hot weather meant business was booming in Burnham-on-Sea too.
It's been really busy. It was nice to see it happening, and lots of people around, and the whole town was chocker-blocked all day yesterday and today. So we're very pleased. Thank goodness.
It's been a really good bank holiday. The weather's been quite nice, a bit windy, but can't grumble really. We've had a lot of customers, yeah.
The bank holiday boost is welcome news for an industry that suffered huge losses. But the big question is, can this momentum be carried into the all-important summer break? Well, let's find out now, and we can speak firstly to Anne Accord, who's the Chief Executive of Brighton Palace Pier. Anne, was it as good an Easter weekend as you needed it to be?
It was really good. I mean, blessed with the weather, and it was wonderful to see so many people out and about after such a long and difficult time.
And how are things looking when we approach the summer, or does it really depend on the weather?
The weather is hugely, important, but I think we're seeing an awful lot of people enjoying the British seaside, and I think people have got more used to staycations now. So we're becoming more attractive to, flying abroad. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a really good summer.
And how do you convince people to choose to come to a seaside resort like Brighton instead of jumping on a plane, which might be the first time they've been able to do that, go somewhere a bit further afield for the first time in 2 or 3 years?
That's right. We'll never persuade people not to go abroad. But I think during the pandemic, people fell in love with this country again. And I think people remember that. And we're certainly seeing people returning time and time again, even throughout the winter. So I think summer's going to be great.
OK, Anne, thank you very much. Let's speak to John Adams, who's the owner of Gelato Gusto, an ice cream shop, I'm imagining, John. How was it this weekend? Were people out spending, or are people not quite doing it in the same way they used to?
Well, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary, and we had a brilliant start with a really busy Easter weekend, probably the best we've had for a long time.
And we're hearing all the time about the real pressures on people's budgets, cost of living squeeze, bills going up. Are people cutting back on luxuries like ice cream, the things that, are nice but not essential?
But as a producer of handmade ice cream, it's a kind of affordable luxury. So I think people are still spending. They like to have a little treat now and again when they come to the seaside.
And for businesses like yours that are also seeing high energy bills and staffing costs and so on, how important is a recovery in tourism for you to survive and thrive?
Yes, well, we're hoping we're going to have a really busy summer. It's really important that we have the customers coming in and enjoying our gelato.
OK. John, thank you very much indeed. And the big question is, what do you have to get? What do you have to buy when you come to Brighton? Well, I thought I'd do my bit for the local economy, Dan and Nina. I went shopping and I've got some Brighton Rock. Now, I thought these make a lovely little gift for your kids, Nina, and for your kids, Dan. So if the young Warhursts and the young Walkers are watching, if these don't get to you, it means someone scoffed them somewhere down the delivery chain.
Let's hope the dentists aren't watching.
Thankfully, Ben, they're already on their way to school, so I can do what I like with them. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. That's very kind of you.
Thank you, Ben. And you have started a conversation about our favourite ice cream flavours by the seaside. Long will that continue as well once we're off air?
Yeah, we decided